Hello there, I'm Nerobax. Welcome back to Aston Martin. We're going to continue where we left off. We are going to be experimenting this episode with the financial, extra financial goal that I found last time out. So, I'm going to continue that a bit. Maybe develop the car a bit too much here, just so that we can test the limits of that, how much you can make. And, yeah, we'll have a quick look at that during this episode. If you enjoyed this series so far, please go ahead and like and subscribe. It would help me out a ton. And let's get right into it. Straight to Canada. There we are. Quality has been completed. As you can see, we have 10th and 9th, which is what you can expect because we did it on purpose. Strategies here are basically the same as Baku. One stoppers or potential for a two stopper. Performance loss here isn't that significant between the tires. It's actually quite similar to Baku if you consider the lap times here. The softs are almost 3/10 quicker, but they degrade 200s quicker than the mediums, which leads to them being very competitive for the first 15 laps. They'll be faster, and they'll be losing out a little bit after that. And the hards here have actually a bit, almost 4/10 slower, so again, the mediums will be competitive for about 20 laps, yeah, before they start losing out to the hards. And the pit lane time here is actually fairly short, with just 19 seconds. 17 seconds under green flag. Then we have, of course, the pit stop itself, so should be okay to actually set up a two-stopper. Should be doable. And we can also here do the positioning again. We're going to give Alonso the victory. And we're going to give Vettel just 5 positions. Should still be doable. And if we upgrade the car a little bit, we can probably for the last races during the season go a bit more aggressive onto this, but it's an interesting one. It's basically you can set go for the race itself, and it's it makes the game more fun, let's be honest here. So let's get on with it. Let's set up a strategy for this race. And I'm thinking that we maybe do what we did at Baku. We start on the softs, we do the hard stint, do the softs until, well, they are competitive for a bit longer. How would the mediums fare? Not really that well. Try 20 laps on the softs. Bit more of a rough one, honestly. It's doable, but the estimation is that it will be fairly slow. And yeah, it would be 30 laps on the mediums, 20 laps on the softs each compound, and then 30 on the mediums. Have a quick look on and do the math here. So 20 laps means that we would degrade to, again, versus the mediums, 20 laps would be 4/10, so would still be just fairly slower than, you know, fresh mediums. 30 laps on the mediums though versus the hards would lead to, again, 6/10. So we'd suffer a bit more there. So potentially if we stretch the softs maybe a couple of laps each longer, and do something like this maybe. It's theoretically faster, and I think this is probably the better one. Stretch this off maybe 1 or 2 laps longer, and I think this should be a fairly okay strategy. I'm going to do the same one here for Alonso. I'm going to start on the softs. We're going to go in the mediums at lap 22 and at lap 48. Yeah, that should be fairly okay. I see it's still, you know, a bit buggy there with the hards. It's a bit sad because it would really be nice to see the estimations, honestly, on how good or how bad that goes. We're gonna go over fuel as much as we can. That way we can push for longer. And of course we are gonna go fuel usage. And I think we're ready now to start the race. Let's see how we pull this off.
We have beautiful blue skies overhead as the drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix.
Red Bull and Ferrari on the front line, Mercedes and Alpha behind them, and then us. So that's interesting already. Alonso here is potentially already ahead of Vettel. We'll have to see here how it goes through this corner here. And if it is, I think we'll just we'll do the opposite then. We'll slow Alonso a bit down here on the ERS usage until Vettel overtakes the car in front. Then we can do it like this. And honestly, we don't really want them to fight each other if we can avoid it. So
Looks like Aston Martin have just
we
gained
might
the
have to
race
tweak this a
position.
bit as the race goes. But for now, it looks fairly okay. That was a quick overtake from
Aston Martin with
Alonso.
a great play there. They've moved up a place.
We will slow it a bit down now though on ERS usage because we have DRS, so it should be able to do most of that job for us. We'll have to see though with the gaps being created how effective it is. Alonso though with the fastest lap. In terms of tyres here, again, a lot of the teams are doing what we're doing. We have Perez, Sainz, Gasly on the softs, and then we have mediums for Leclerc and Verstappen, so we should be faster for, you know, the immediate future here. But we'll probably have to use the overtake here to really make moves, and you should have just sent it there, Vettel, honestly. That would have been amazing. And we're going to give it to Alonso as well. And I guess we'll just have to harvest and use use the what's it called? Alonso is actually struggling a bit back here. Use what's it called? Help DRS to keep ahead.
Just need to charge up. Copy.
So I think it should still be doable. Shouldn't be too much of a problem here. The only main concern is the gap between Sainz and you know, two cars in front. So for Vettel, probably neutral will actually be okay. We just need Alonso here to charge up a bit so that he has something to use when he needs. See, put you on neutral, would that be enough to stay ahead of Hamilton? Maybe not.
Let's focus.
And Vettel has also lost a position here to the Red Bull, but I think he might get it back here. Not really, so we'll probably have to give him overtake again later. Well, up to 4th here now. And again, the DRS train is now fairly established up to 1st. Alonso here will probably need some DRS. We might have to try and... or ERS, we might have to try and charge. But for now, we are actually okay with the current proceedings. Have both of our drivers try and charge a little bit here, hopefully, without losing positions. We're actually a bit slower here than I expected, in all honesty. Especially Alonso is struggling a bit, I think. As I say that, he overtakes Gasly. So, just talk him a bit down then, he will prove you wrong. We actually have a gap now where I think Verstappen is... Now he still has DRS. But Vettel has made his way up to 1st. He has a bit of a gap. And I think what we're going to do is gamble on deploying the ERS. And see if we can extend that gap to... potentially... might not work here. Nah. I believe Leclerc does have DRS here. Yep, he does. Bit of a shame there. I was hoping that we could potentially have just run away from them. But they have re-overtaken Vettel there. Had a crash on track. Is that a safety car crash? No, but it looks like the McLarens have both touched each other.
There's been contact and several cars involved. Here's the replay. Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
If we go... Oh, okay.
And there's the hit. And
Yeah,
it's
that
clear who was in
kind
the
of
wrong
smells
there.
like a red flag though. But I assume they both got moving, that's why we didn't get that. Yeah, Norris is incredibly slow though. Does he have a puncture? He does. That is Norris's race completely ruined. We do have a virtual safety car. I don't think we have a need to jump in the pits here. If we do, can we... Where would we come out? About in 10. Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. It'd be behind these boys here. and we'd have to do close the DRS gap again. So for now, I think we're okay. We still have a lot of tire life left, so I'd say it should be okay. Let's go harvest for both our boys here, and we'll speed through
All
with
okay
that
on fuel, so you can do what you want for speed.
virtual safety car.
Copy.
Let's go see, Vettel is actually falling back in terms of time by harvesting. One of the things I do not like under the VSC, that they'll just lose time for no good reason. Yeah, Norris here is just completely out of the race. But yeah, we have been losing time to the lead here under the virtual safety car, so...
The DRS is enabled now.
Again, that is why I hate to harvest. Just because it doesn't really work. We're going to have to try and hunt down Leclerc here. And again, we're still losing time. 15 laps in, we should still actually have the tire advantage. And we were 4/10 slower on the virtual safety car lap. And we're still 4/10 slower, so... It's very, very annoying, but nothing we can do with it right now. Vettel even lost a position here, but the DRS that he gained from losing that position actually helped him out a bit here. We're going to deploy and try and get him up to Leclerc here.
Just gained a race position.
Go back to neutral, don't waste all of it. And with that, Vettel should be able to stay with Leclerc. We can focus a bit on Alonso, down in 6th here. Going to allow him to try the overtake here, the next part of the track. Got one Red Bull, can he get the other one? Maybe not. We also have used all of our ERS here, so we're kind of going to have to harvest a bit.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Put it to neutral here. Will we have enough speed to get him into the first corner? We will. Now it's just, can we maintain? And can we catch up to the cars in front? Potentially for Alonso, because again, Vettel is the one that we want to finish 1st or higher, and Alonso is the one that we kind of need to win this race. So he's 5 seconds behind so far. We still have a bit more before we need to pit. Again, I think we are gonna potentially stretch these tires a bit longer. Sainz and Perez as well as Gasly pitted, but then again, I assume that these boys are on a one-stopper. They're going to the hards. I'm pretty sure they are. Should be. So it's not still not a bad situation per se. And honestly, for Vettel, I think we aren't going to pit him until Leclerc does, as long as he keeps up with him. Because I don't see him doing anything to do really a lot faster laps than he already is. So for Alonso, we're just going to have him push. And we're going to have him get into in on the mediums here on his next lap. And as I say, as long as Vettel sticks with Leclerc, we're gonna probably stretch him an extra lap or so. Kind of severely overheating for Alonso. Let's tune that down then, so he doesn't have a accident, if you will. And the pit should come out behind Sainz. Nope, he actually snuck out in front. Perfect. A little bit of fresh air now, 5 seconds worth. And we can tune down to standard. We still have a lot of fuel to use, though. We might actually be able to run aggressive fuel to the end of the race, which would be quite amazing. And honestly, for Vettel, if he just sticks with Leclerc, I'm thinking we just do maybe a bit of a change here for him, and we switch over to the hards at the end of the race. It should be doable, but it's probably going to be costly, I think, in terms of lap time. I think it's going to be really, really rough. So I'm thinking we maybe just push him this lap, have him push everything, get in on the mediums, and we still try and do the two-stopper. It's usually not the optimal strategy, but I enjoy it because it's fun to do things a little bit differently. So, oh, I guess we're gonna have a safety car here. Yep, we are. Actually perfect for Vettel, not so much for Alonso, who just pitted. But of course, if the AI decide to stay out here, it's basically perfect for him. So we have our safety car. Vettel is going to be pitting here now. So let's just put Alonso on harvest. He is still pretty far back, but should still be okay.
Let's see what happened there. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
Did the Williams hit each other? Of course they did. And that is a puncture at least.
That's
Oh,
a big smash.
that's straight out of the field, I think. Tsunoda took out Schumacher. Can't even blame him for that one. And Leclerc is also pitting here, so a bit clever maybe. Let's see if we have a quicker pit stop though. And not really, we ended up behind Leclerc. And the bots are all pitting. Beautiful. The AI, not the bots. And we ended up behind Verstappen. So, not great, not terrible. They're all on the house though, so if we can make a run for it now, it would be the best time to do so. Let's put it down to conserve. Just do this for safety's sake. I don't think it really matters too much under the safety car. But in this situation, we're going to do it.
Okay, energy's good. Copy.
Safety car will be in this lap. Safety car will be in this lap.
Okay, copy.
Gonna give them the overtake here. And the goal here will be very simple. Get away from Leclerc and have our drivers DRS off each other and gain that little bit of a gap out front. That'll be the goal. Vettel has already done his job. We can slow him down a bit on the DRS here. Alonso has done his job, well, his first part of his job.
Aston Martin with a great
Vettel
run
actually
there.
ran wide
Place.
and lost a couple of positions. He's going to lose all the way to the back, isn't he? That safety car actually doomed us then, unfortunately.
Have a look up on the track. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin. Well, they've lost it. They've locked up.
That's going to make it actually really difficult for Vettel to make his way back up, in all honesty. And potentially, as I said, it could have ruined this this race for us, especially with the goals that we set. So we'll have to see. We should still have a fairly quick car here, so if we can make it back up to DRS, we can probably
DRS will be active.
make something work. The goal here for now for Alonso, though, will be to run away from Leclerc. But honestly, I think he needs to be behind on this segment and then make his move. So let's run him on harvest until we get there.
Ferrari advance the race position.
And now we'll give him overtake and everything. And we'll see if that is enough to get away, if you will. And it doesn't really seem like it is.
Looks like Aston Martin have
Yeah, we just
gained the
aren't
race position.
as quick as we need to be here, fortunately. What we could do, of course, is try and save the tires, but even that won't matter too much.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Vettel is making his way back up, though. He's up to 14th. And the goal here will, of course, be back up into 5th place, as that is where we wanted him to be. If Alonso remains where he is, it will be good. He is actually now ahead, and he is running quicker than Verstappen and Leclerc by half a second. That is good. We'll be putting our efforts into Vettel here. And I would assume that he can get Albon now. And he did the second I said so. I was just keeping them behind and gaining our show. Then I'll be happy.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Oh. Okay. Boys, how close were you to take it out? That looks like a rear wing that's gone, and also potentially an engine. And I believe it was Magnussen was the other victim.
Let's take a
At least his
closer
rear wing
look.
survived.
All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here.
Yeah, I would assume Tsunoda is just straight up out. Sorry, Albon, not
Safety
Tsunoda.
car,
We have another safety car here. And this one is interesting, because if we jump into the pits here for hards, they will definitely last until the end of the race, but we'll lose so much position I don't think it matters. It is going to bunch up the field. Honestly, the safety car is not good for us. We're about halfway point. Yeah, we're just going to have to leave things as they are. conserve, harvest, and then we'll have to try and get something done on the restart, I guess. Hitting Alonso could be doable. I think it's just a bit too close there. As you can see, the Haas just completely shaved his front wing. Yeah, Alonso is out front. He is on the mediums. We'll have to.
Got loads of energy.
Copy.
We'll just have to try and make something out of this. It's a bit awkward, honestly. Safety car is coming in this lap. Let's go back to standard. Let's go back to push. Gonna go back to overtake. We probably put actually a bit too much fuel in the car, honestly, and it might make us suffer a bit. We're gonna go deploy on Alonso here. We're gonna see now over the next 2 laps if he can gain enough that Verstappen here is not within DRS, and so far he is not. Vettel has made it 1 place. Gonna have to go back to neutral though.
They've moved up a place.
And is it gonna get Ocon here? He did. So if he can continue gaining as he is, we should still be okay. The problem is we're gonna have to pit once more, and you know, not a lot of laps time, so it's a bit of an awkward one. We might want to go aggressive on the tires in a couple laps time. But yeah, that safety car did put us in a very, very awkward spot, if you will, because we're gonna have to do a lot of overtakes. So we might want to stay out on these mediums a bit longer than we otherwise would, just to create gaps in the pack, but also so that the hards are a bit more worn, and thus a little bit easier to overtake against on the fresh softs. We're gonna still be doing that. Could have gone onto the hards during the safety car window, but we didn't, and now it's a little bit too late to consider that option, really.
Looks like Aston Martin
Vettel did move up though, got Russell. Now it's just the other cars here. The DRS rank does go up to Bottas though, so yeah, and it's a bit difficult to overtake the other cars. Kinda need fuel for the most part to make that work. Sorry, not fuel, energy. Gonna give him the opportunity here to
Low battery.
try something, but this straight just eats your energy. And currently Paris is the one blocking us, so we can't really make a move. We are within the safety, well, not the safety, the pit window. And Verstappen has actually caught up to Alonso. If we were to pit now, we would still be, really, really far back. But I don't think we really have a choice. We can go aggressive here, of course. And I think we're going to do that for 1 lap. And I think we'll do the same here for Vettel. We're going to stretch it 1 more lap and see if we can make something out of it. We're going to go full on attack here. We're going to gamble onto those softs. And it might not pay out. It might not pay off here at all. It's 20 laps to go. They're at 70, 60. Honestly, delaying it a little bit further could be the thing here. The battle is going to come out in the back. It's just how it is. And that is going to struggle to overtake these DRS trains. Might have made a huge mistake here and not pitted under the safety car. No, battle I. Okay. I didn't mean for you to pit there, but it happened. We're going to have to live with that. Put you on standard. Let's have you go here. See how quickly you can overtake the rest here. And Alonso has actually pulled ahead, so I think we're going to gamble. And we're going to delay the pit stop by 1 lap. And we're going to have him completely burn out these mediums. Vettel got the move on Latifi. We're going to see if he gets the move on the rest. And right now, he's still going to come out. Alonso, that is, going to come out at the back of the pack. So let's do 1 more. 1 more push lap before we pit. Vettel is up to 15th. And now he has some fresh air to work in. And still here, I don't think it will actually matter if we push that too much because the lap times were fairly equal. We'll just have to see here now if we can maybe sneak out in front of these guys, and we could. 9th. 9th place. 15 seconds behind. Now let's see if we can catch up to the front again, like we did in Baku. We gained 2 seconds that lap though, so I'd say it's doable. Challenge though is going to be Vettel up to 5th. 15 seconds he too needs to gain. Alonso has caught up to Perez and Russell, and I think he'll just, you know, barrel through them really, hopefully. He did. Good. Now it's the 2 Alphas and Hamilton next on the chopping block. Vettel up to 14th. And he has a bit of a longer DRS straight here to contend with, so we're going to give him overtake on this segment. And hopefully he can make something work with that. The ERS is suffering though. Alonso is behind Hamilton. Could potentially make some moves here. Yeah, Vettel is going to be the tough nut here. Get up, you know, ahead of this train in front of him. He's just lacking that little bit of pace, fortunately.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
9 laps to go. 15 seconds still because he's just stuck behind everyone. But if he can get past Tsunoda fairly clear now, he might be able to make something work. Sorry, show. Not Tsunoda. There we are. But we used all of our ERS to do that, really. Now 6 seconds to Russell. Alonso is still chasing. Still should potentially be able to pull something off here, but we are running out of extra fuel. And the last lap time was 1.5 seconds quicker. So if he keeps this up, he'll be able to catch up. It's just if he can get the overtakes done. Yes, he is just getting straight up blocked by Verstappen. But he did get Verstappen here, chase down Sainz. And since it's just one car, easy peasy for him. Vettel though is still stuck. Is again concerning. He's stuck behind Perez and Russell. And there's not really much I can do here. I can allow it to run nice, a bit more aggressive. But honestly, other than that, there's really nothing I can do.
Copy.
Maybe give me an overtake on again this segment, so couldn't really make it work. Safety cars unfortunately messed us up a bit. Alonso though did pull off his job, so we might just put only him as a gaining position. And maybe one car qualifying in the top 3 to be safe, potentially. Fuel range, though, for Alonso here could be a concern. We're going to have to try and save fuel to make it to the end of the race here. I didn't pay too good attention to that. Which means we're probably going to have to fight Leclerc. And Vettel up to 7th. He is within range. Let's give him full attack here for the last couple of laps. And can he make something work? We're currently on the final lap. We should be able to run balanced. We can run full attack. And we have plenty of energy here to give Alonso the potential for the overtake here. Which I should be fairly certain shouldn't be a problem here. Vettel though is gonna again struggle. He got me almost. Go defend here for Alonso. Vettel, last straight. Can you make something work here?
So let's check the flags.
Unfortunately not. Just slightly off here. Go on, Bottas. So, one off for extra cash. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way things are. And again, I think we could do one driver fairly reliably, but the Vettel lockup here really threw us off. He was going to the end of the pack, and nothing really we can do about that. It's the same as crashing out. It would have had the same effect, I think. As a result, Ferrari 2-4, Red Bull 3rd and 9th, Mercedes 5th and 8th, and the Alpha is finishing up the remaining points. Driver Championship, no changes. Constructors, we have no changes. And with that, let's see how the development went. As you can see, good race from our boys here. In terms of development, Alonso had 24 overtakes, and Vettel had 36. So it did attempt the charge, but unfortunately couldn't make it work. Which is a bit unfortunate, but nothing we really can do with that. And again, we're also losing a bit of development, not doing Q3 really. As you can see, we lose money here on that position gain. So far, it's been nothing but a money sink. We probably lost about $1.5 million so far. A bit unsure, but we'll have to see if we can maybe make a bit of money now. It was a bit unlucky with that, but better lockup though. I think we also have a look at potential, drivers to give put in his slot. I don't think Hamilton would really count for that, but we'll scout him just his stats. Bottas is probably another one. If not, we'll do Paris maybe. Paris is not really a super old goat, but he's still good. So we'll scout him, we'll scout Ricciardo, we'll scout Bottas, and we'll consider one of them. Yumi here is probably not someone we're going to be picking up, neither is Hulkenberg. Kubica, probably not either, but we'll have to see what Vettel does. If he retires, we need to have someone who can take over his seat. And Hauger here is not really ready by any stretch of the imagination, but he is getting closer. So we're going to be putting everything into braking for now. We're going to keep these two stats, I think, about 10 points ahead of reactions. I still haven't tested it, but I trust the people who are saying that, reaction isn't so far anything to invest in. And also, if we have Hauger for a couple of seasons, we could potentially mold him into decent talent here. He is gaining points fairly regularly here, so it's not bad by any stretch of imagination. We have a new ATR period coming in here. I'm a bit unsure where we want to put that. Probably a wing or underfloor. Bit of a weird one, honestly, at this stage, because we do have that regulation change. It's going to hurt us a bit. We have currently the best car, but I'd like to boost it a little bit just so we can see if we feel the financial aspect really help us or not. So let's see if we design a rear wing. How would that help us if we put in all of our ATR and all of our wind tunnel? How much would we gain in terms of stats here? We'd actually gain a decent amount of speed and acceleration. It would be good, don't get me wrong. But the main concern though is that we are losing a lot of stats too, due to the minor technical changes. We're losing a lot of cornering, so I think what we do is focus on, fixing that first. And with this, we'd fix some of it, but not a lot of it. And if we do all of this, how we're looking. We'd boost the cooling alone by a bit here, decent margin. 6 if we turn it down. We'd gain 14, 11 actually, high speed. Would be good. We're gaining 12.5 really in medium. And we'd be gaining a bit more here actually in the lower part. So it still looks good. Wrong. But we still have some work to do. We're going to be lacking low speed cornering next season most likely. And we'd still gain a little bit here. Could of course also just do this. Average it, get 4% on both of these, which is actually a decent amount. Gain a lot of cooling. But it would cut down the gains here quite significantly. Just 7% on high speed. We'd be gaining 7 minus 24, which is 17. On 2, 8.5%, which is still good. Would be about able to cancel it out. And even here, we wouldn't be able to completely cancel it. We'd have to do another one. But the question is the gains here worth it? Turn down airflow sensitivity, for instance. What do we lose? We lose cornering, both forms. We lose the dirty air cornering. So that's fine. Airflow front should be speed. And as you can see, it is. It's a little amount of speed, but in return we gain cornering. So I think we're going to do this. Cooling is something we'd like to get up because it's a meme at this point, really. So we'll do this. We're still going to be lacking a bit here in the low speed, but we can do dedicated research projects for that later on. We are getting to the halfway point of the season, so just developing the smaller parts could potentially just be enough for us, and I think we're going to just aim at that. Race sim upgrade completed. Let's have a look here. We want to just straight up max it right away. I think we do. We do have the money. We probably also do want to get the CFD and of course the wind tunnel up a bit further, but I am fairly happy with the current situation, so no need, especially not considering that we will be losing wind tunnel and everything next season. So we'll probably get it up this season so we can take advantage, but I'm okay. We're going to try this once again. Both drivers top 10, and hopefully this time we'll not end up losing a lot of money. Let's do one driver top 2. Let's not be overly optimistic. And yeah, let's get ready for the British Grand Prix. We're ready for Silverstone, also 9th and 10th. I've been doing 2 stoppers are more of the norm here, and 1 stop could be happening. Compound performance here is a bit awkward, honestly. Mediums are definitely the best tire, as you can see. They have just 100 degradation compared to the hard, but at the same time they are 3/10 quicker, so they'll be competitive as stars for about, you know, 30 laps. The softs on the other hand, we have 300s quicker degradation, also about 3/10, and with that they basically only have the advantage for 10 laps, but you can get a lot of climbing done during those 10. And what I'm thinking we do here as a strategy is probably something like this. We start on the mediums, we start on the softs, we go onto the mediums, and we stay on the mediums until the end of the race. So we can do something like this. Let's go and have a look. We know that the softs are competitive against the mediums until about the 10th lap. And if you want to stretch that to the hards, they degrade 400s a lap quicker than the hards. They have about 6 advantage, if you will, 6/10. So they'd be competitive until around lap 15 versus the hards. And in terms of mediums, then we just split the stint in 2. So 15 minus 53 equals 38. 38 split in 2 equals 19. So we basically want to run these for 19 laps each, which would be something like this. And of course we can stretch the soft stint in the beginning if we feel like we need to, but the goal is just to use those faster softs to climb. And most of the strategies here, as you can see, involve hards. So if they are goes on one of the 3 basic strategies, they will be using hards, and we can take advantage of that. So I think it should be okay that we do something like this again. What did we figure out? We needed 19, so 34. And again, we're going to give this a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I am a fan of the 2-stopper. Taking risks and being a bit aggressive. Could put in a little bit extra fuel here. 3 laps worth. Just so that we can run aggressive the entire race. We're probably putting in a little bit too much, honestly. Do this so we can do it on the soft run. Still be okay. Overtake. Fuel usage up. And we're going to use fuel up here. But we're going to save the overtake until we move a bit further up. As you can see, we're starting 8th and 9th, so someone has eaten a penalty here. Guarantee slot, position gain. Let's see here, Vettel. We're going to try and get him up to 4th. And for Alonso, victory. So again here, we are gambling. And if we win this one, we'll basically have made back what we lost on this gambling. But at least it's made the races a lot more interesting, at least from my perspective. So I still think that this is good, the position gain. It does make things a little bit more challenging. And now I need to figure out where is Vettel's sweet spot, where is where we can guarantee to get him up to. Last race we got him up to 6th, but it did have that lockup there that relegated him to the back of the field. And basically threw away 20 seconds by doing so. So it's a bit of a shame, but nothing we can do about that. Again, if we feel the need, we can stretch the softs. So I still think this is good. We also have components in the car that are decent, so I'd say start the race.
A somewhat overcast day.
They'll tell me it's going to rain, and I was a little bit
Anticipation is
too
high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix.
Red Bulls on the front. So I
And it
assume a
lights
Ferrari
out, and away we go.
has eaten a penalty. Leclerc in 7th. Bottas and Gasly maybe? A bit further back than what I expect them. But I didn't see anything qualifying, unfortunately. See here. It's not gonna rain, so the fog is just there to scare me. Oof. Now, the other cars have all started on the mediums in front of us. We'll have the advantage for the first 10 laps. So if we can make it up to, again, a better DRS train on this first stint, that will be the goal. And we basically need to get past Show ASAP. Vettel seems to not be having a good time trying to fight Show. There we go. And now we can get Alonso into the mix too. Put him on overtake. And let's see, how long does he's already done it. I was about to say, how long is he gonna need to actually get past? And he'd already pulled it off by the time I finished my sentence. Let's go a bit neutral here. This DRS train is gonna go all the way up to, well, Sainz actually. So we'll have to see exactly how we play that. Yellow flag. Ricciardo done some shenanigans. And it looks like Leclerc did too. So, same for them, good for us.
Oh, we've had a spin.
We've set fastest lap here with Alonso, so hopefully we can make some moves soon. I think we do just do overtake here. We do have a gap behind, so we'll have Vettel just do, okay, everything he can. Double overtake is sweet. And then we try and do the same here for Alonso. And hopefully we're allowed to see that triple overtake.
Let's take a look at the replay. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
It's a shame though that we couldn't have Alonso slot in behind him there and just follow his teammate. That would have been great. See here now, can Alonso make some moves? We have overtake on him. But I don't think it's going to be easy even with the overtake, honestly. We did get one Mercedes, and since he's tucked in now, let's see if we can. Oh. I see some pieces flying.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
But they're not our pieces.
There's contact.
Let's see what actually happened here.
On the track. Here's the replay. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one.
Okay, so we took a piece of Hamilton's car. And we also did damage the tires a bit, as you can see. Plus we picked up a time penalty, which is going to suck for pit stops. That's going to hurt a bit. We're now 6 seconds behind. We have lost 10% tire wear. Should probably harvest a bit here with Vettel. Even if he is currently in a position where it's going to be difficult to catch up, so to speak. Go back to neutral here. Kind of need Vettel to catch up to Perez and Verstappen. And Alonso here, we kind of also need to just try and make the most of these softs now. That time penalty is going to suck. It's just the way of things. But at least he didn't lose too many positions on that spin. But it's just a shame he touched the Mercedes while doing so. We have a yellow flying in Sector 3. If something happened behind us. Bottas, by the looks of things, have had an adventure.
Oh, there's a spin!
Yeah, Alonso winning here is potentially going to be a bit more challenging now. Looks like at least the other components didn't take any damage, but then again, I didn't expect it during that slight touch. So Sainz and Vettel has caught up with the Red Bulls. As long as we can stick Alonso with Russell, I think we're good here. because now our tires are going to be worse than the mediums. If we can stick in a DRS train that is, again, higher up and good for us, that would be great. That is what we'll be aiming for. We are getting very close to the pit window here. So let's speed things along a little bit until we get there. And as you can see, we aren't really losing out to Vettel in front.
Like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
I still think we're okay.
Red Bull gained a place.
Guess we get Alonso in a bit earlier here. Have him go attack. Hit him this lap. And Vettel, we could potentially try and stretch him as well. Let's have him go aggressive for this lap and then have him push the next one. Because he does have... The thing is, we have the gap here. We want to have a bit of a bigger one. So let's have him stretch it for a couple of laps. And we'll see exactly where Alonso comes out here because of his penalty. He comes out in 16th. He does have some fresh air in front of him though, so it's not all bad. Let's put it like that. You also still have the fuel capacity to push here. So, the question now is, what do we do with Vettel? If we do pit now, we're estimated to come out in 13th. That is going to be quite suckish, honestly. I think what we do is, as I said here, we go a bit aggressive on a lap or two. And we see if we can pull a little bit ahead here. Go aggressive for one, go full attack for the next one. Might not work, honestly, but if we can just gain a little bit more room to play with here, if you will, for the pit stop, that'll do it for us. We have Verstappen pitting, so we should do the same. Yellow flag in sector 1. Alonso's up to 14th here, so he's making moves.
Sounds like we've had a spin.
And Vettel and Sainz now are pitting. Who is going to have the better pit stop? Sainz it is. And we dock in there behind Verstappen for Vettel. And we are 7 seconds off for Alonso, so not the worst scenario, all things considered. We have a 5% penalty in there. We were 7 seconds behind to begin with, so we have gained. And if Gasly can hold everyone behind him here, Alonso will be able to catch up to the de facto lead, interestingly enough, because, again, Sainz is net lead here, and, well, he is making moves now, because Gasly is pitting. Gasly is pitting. Alonso has made it up to the DRS train, though, so just if we can, as long as we don't let go of Sainz, I think we'll be good here. Oh, I have completely forgotten to turn Vettel down. Someone was probably yelling at me. I was wondering, why is this going so aggressively downwards? And it's just me being silly. We do need Vettel, though, to overtake Albon fairly quick here so that he doesn't get left behind in that DRS train, like Verstappen has just been. Well, Alonso has actually also been. That is not good. If we deploy, I think we should catch up, but I still think we're okay. Should be able to catch up here, no problem. I think we can speed things along here now. And we have both of our cars out front, so yeah. See if we can pull away here from the rest. It's probably going to be a bit difficult, honestly, but just how things are. If we can create a huge gap here down to Paris, that'll be the main goal. Because we are going to be pitting once more, and when we do, can we then have come out, say, in fresh air, either in front of Russell, or potentially even Paris, if we play this right. That would be the goal. Essentially, it looks like we're going to get Russell, and we're going to have to pit them one at a time. So, thinking we have Vettel run aggressive here first. See if he can pull Alonso along here. We're going to go hit him this lap. And we're going to be pitting Alonso on the following. We're going to give him aggressive to follow with. And we're going to set up the pit stop here now for the other set of mediums. And we're going to delay it by 1 lap. So hopefully we'll be able to catch up the, you know, one pit stop deficit. In terms of tire wear, it's not great, honestly, but I think we would be able to pull this off. So we'll give it a go.
Box, box.
Let's see if we this time remember. Oh, actually came out behind Leclerc, which isn't actually the worst thing. If he gets in DRS range of Leclerc, and those two can just, you know, play ping pong, if you will, forwards, that would be amazing. Alonso is pitting. Let's see where he comes out. It is a fairly long pit stop here, though, so I should have taken that into account. And he comes out behind Vettel. So the question now is, can we, over the next 16 laps here, gain enough to, you know, catch up to Sainz and Verstappen? And they're actually also pitting, both of them. And we get them on the pit stops. Good. And Alonso is just charging ahead here now, leaving Leclerc behind.
Have just gained a race position.
So I assume these two are not going to stop again. So if we catch up to them, we'll probably be net first here. So that is good. I would have liked Vettel to catch up to Alonso, but I don't really have any good ways of doing that except, you know, push everything.
Someone's gone wide there.
And Leclerc pits there, making him non-problem. Alonso has gotten past Russell, and we're now hunting down Perez here. Let's speed things up a bit. Vettel has also gotten past Russell, so good. And we are actually creating a gap here down to fourth, so it's going to be our two boys versus Russell. And we actually should be happy that we didn't overfuel as aggressive as we did. Silverstone now is apparently very good for running fuel on aggressive. Push, rather. There we are. Alonso has gotten Perez. Vettel has gotten Perez as well. And now it's just maintain positions to the end here. 9 laps to go. And we already have the gap created, if you will. So we are actually over a second quicker. And unless we have an accident, we should have this 1-2 in hand. So took a little bit of adjustment here, but I don't know if I want to praise myself too early, because this could, again, just lead to tragedy later. And yeah, we are gaining it now quite a bit here. Perez and Russell are going to suffer these last 3 laps on those worn hards, honestly. But still, 3rd and 4th from Red Bull would be amazing for them, I'll be honest. So we'll have to see if he can keep Sainz away.
So this is last lap. Last lap, you can push the tyres.
Copy.
Here's the thing: I need Alonso to win, because that is the way we set things up, unfortunately. So it's a bit rude of me here, but I'm gonna allow Alonso to
Alonso has done it.
get the victory.
Fernando Alonso is today's Grand Prix winner.
Yeah, well done, guys.
That's the only shame by setting it up like that, though, that you kind of have to choose who you prefer. Well, we finally made our money back. Now the big question is, can we gain some money during this season by using this? Red Bull 3-4, Ferrari 5-7, Mercedes 6 and 10. Then we have AlphaTauri in 9th, and Stroll with Alpine in 8th. Is a bit surprising, honestly. Driver Championship, Russell moves up, and we have Vettel here, gaining a bit of a more safe ground versus Leclerc. Constructors, no changes. Decent amount of development, as you can see here. So again, if they had high modifiers, they'd be getting a decent amount of points. 27 and 25 overtakes here. So yeah, a good amount of work done. And I think this is the highest race day payout I've ever seen, 10 million. Performance guarantees 5.2 million. So position gain here, 1.8. We could actually gotten 700,000 more and potentially broken the 11 million barrier here. I believe we also had this one. We could have bumped by 200,000, but yeah, this is great. We actually made a lot of money, so I'll be very, very happy with that. And we also could have gotten an extra 900,000 there from, you know, just general sponsorship. So very, very interesting. British Grand Prix post-race debrief. Engine cooling and cornering is what we're lacking. Regulation vote for the sporting changes here. What? Competition is the heart of Formula 1 to promote greater equality in the sport. All teams receive the exact same. Also, the McLaren say that had the changes. Probably. That's on me. Exact same. That could also be kind of funny, honestly. It would benefit us, to be honest here. This would benefit us insanely, honestly. So, with the financials in mind, I'm going to vote for, because I want to see just how much we can abuse that next season. Team Up has been upgraded, and I think we're just going to continue upgrading it. And we'll have to see where that regulation goes through. If it goes through, we're going to focus the car facilities a bit more. Qualifying position, we're going to go for both drivers in top 10. We have been doing. Reach Q3 with both drivers, and fastest lap should be doable. Finish position streak, 1 driver, top 2, 5 races. Again, we could also make more money here if we really want to try and maximize the gain. It is doable, so we might test that also next season. The thing is, it requires you to start lower though, so if you want to absolutely maximize gain from one race, see just how much you can get, we'd have to plan it out from season 1. We might do that next season. Sorry, next game or playthrough, depending on what we do. But let's get ready for Austria. Here we are at Austria. 9th, 4th, 9th, 10th, as we're expecting. Expected strategies here are 1 stops, but it's going to start raining towards the end of the race. And with the combat performances being as they are, we might be going for another 2-stopper. Soft, actually a 3-stopper, technically. Soft, inters, softs. So that could be an option here. Because degradation-wise, it's just 100 between all 3 of these. And all of them have 3/10 in lap difference between each other. And it's a short lap. Don't get me wrong. So again, still, with the 3/10s, you can do 30 laps on the softs before they lose out to the mediums. So it's just, can you gain enough time on those softs to, you know, hold up against the mediums? And is it worth it? Is going to be the big question. Because again, the pit lane here is fairly long. So probably not, honestly. We're probably gonna... I didn't actually consider that when I was making the strategy. So I think what we're probably going to do here is start on the hards. Just make them last until we get to the wet part. We'll have to have a look here on strategy itself. As you can see, it's starting to get wet fairly far in. Lap 47. So, yeah, it's basically do we go hards and stay out for 47 laps? Or do we go aggressive on the softs here? Because I'm pretty sure the AI, since this is the strategy, except for the hard to soft, that has the latest pit stop. I'm pretty sure the AI will do some funny stuff here. Also, because we have wets at the end, and we have wets, we have inters, we have 80% guessing chance here, and we have no clue what's going to be the best choice here. So, thinking we could try something funny here again. Soft, do the rainy period, something like this maybe. 22 laps on the softs is going to be a bit rough, but I think doable, and potentially it could start raining sooner. And I think it's a fun one, so I think we could try this, and then just adjust it as sees fit. And with 22 laps, it should still be faster in terms of degradation than the mediums. So I'd like to see an extra number at the back here, because this is 49 and this is 31. That is not going to work, but you know, I think it's worth a shot. It's a fun shot, and that's why I want to do it. So we're going to do the same here. Set up softs for lap 22, and we're going to hopefully make them last until the end of the race. Going to be the goal here. Like so. And I think probably once we get to the wet period, we're just going to go directly onto the wets. It seems to be the most reliable one. We're also going to overfuel the car here by 2 laps worth. That is the better choice there. It's just a good starting point. And we can do the same here. Of course, once we get to the wets, it shouldn't be an issue either. Run neutral for Alonso. And the thing here is, if by some miracle the last couple of laps are dry, like super dry, doubtful, probably not going to happen. We actually do have 3 pairs of softs there. 3 sets. I don't know why I keep calling them pairs. 3 sets of softs to play with, so this could be fun. Could be interesting, and curious exactly how this mad strategy of mine is going to pay out for us. But the reason why we are so far down, we need to forget, we need to do the position game battle. Let's gamble on 3rd here, and let's gamble on 1st place for Alonso. Do we want to do this with the wet? We should be able to take advantage of the AR, I feel like, so let's go all in. Let's gamble. I feel like it's worth a bit of fun there. And as you see, the potential rewards here are 2.8 million and 700,000 here, so 3.5 in just basic single race rewards is pretty amazing. Let's get this started, see exactly how it plays out, double checking that we have the correct components. We're ready to go to the race here.
As the sun continues, it's the race we've all been waiting for. It's the Austrian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we
That's
go.
an interesting one. Albon on 2nd row. We did have a wet qualifying, which probably had an effect on that. And we'll see here now if Vettel can make moves. He did. And we're going to see if Alonso too can make similar moves. Gonna enjoy this first lap here.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
In terms of tyres here, with the only one on the softs, the rest of the field has mediums or hards. So the medium runners will for sure have to pit before the rain, just like us. And with that in mind, we should have an advantage over them. The hard runners though, maybe not so much. Leclerc has taken penalties for sure, same with Verstappen. And Vettel here is moving up the field, so yes, come on, you don't need to let go of the accelerator there.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
There we go, Vettel gets Norris as well. Alonso is still though suffering a bit. There we go. And we also get Albon here fairly shortly. Short work made of him there. We're going to go neutral here now because we are getting the DRS.
DRS will be active.
And we have already created quite a gap here down to Gasly. So we'll have to see if he can get onto this DRS train. But if he cannot, we already have a huge advantage here. Because Paris isn't super quick. He is very consistent, but not super quick in this game. And Russell and Sainz too could be a bit problematic, but I think we have the advantage there, honestly. And both of our drivers there overtake Russell. Vettel up in 2nd, Alonso in 4th. There we go, Alonso in 3rd. Maybe not. Sainz came back at him. There we go, both our drivers won 2. And now the question is, do I try and have Alonso and Vettel pull away from the rest of the pack here? And they might actually pull that off on their own with no real influx here, potentially. So if we give them a couple of laps here, I think they might pull that off. We'll just have to see if they actually do or not.
Did somebody spin out there?
Leclerc with a spin as well. He's basically out of the race potentially here. Still, even if we have those other cars being pulled along by us, what we could do in order to try and stop that is very, very simple. We go deploy for both our drivers here. And we try and create a gap now that is big enough that they will not be part of that DRS train. And looks like it was successful to some degree. Go back to neutral. And hopefully now we can just run away from them. Paris might be with us, but the rest should not be. No, we have now run away. Now we just need to basically maintain. Is easier said than done. But if we just gain a bit of time here to Norris in 6th before we do our first pit stop in, you know, double the amount of race time we've done so far, that would be pretty sweet, because that would give us a lot of free air to work with here. Rain is still expected for lap 41.
I think there's been a lock-up.
We can speed things a bit more up here. Looks like we will be getting that safe window down to Norris and Albon, so that should be good. But if Verstappen becomes the driver of that trade, though, we might be in trouble. Now, it looks like we're still okay. In terms of lap times, 1:08.17, and Verstappen and 1:08.6. So we're still gaining a little bit. Means that we are perfectly safe after this moment. Again, we should retain advantage over this entire stint. So if we really want to, we can also extend it. We feel the need. So since Alonso is probably going to overtake on this stretch, we're going to give him full attack. And we are going to pit him this lap, and we can just stretch the next set if we feel the need. Okay, I was afraid that he would be pitting a bit too soon. But looks like it was all in vain. Tires are severely overheating. Let's go aggressive for Vettel, and hopefully here we can beat Verstappen out of the pits. That is the goal. And we'll have to see if Vettel can do the same. Full attack. He will be pitting at the end of this lap. And Alonso did beat them by quite a lot here, so we are good. Alonso should be about 20 seconds, yeah, behind Vettel. There we are. And so now we'll DRS each other. We should be good here. So we lost about a decent amount of time during the pit stop, but we're still good. As long as we are ahead of Albon and Verstappen, that gives us a lot of free air to play with here, so we should be able to catch up to the guys in front fairly quick here. Let's have a look at lap times. 1:08.1 for both. They're just 100 of each other, and we gained 7/10 on the quickest of that DRS train, which is Russell. So within 10 laps, should be in striking distance. Might even be sooner.
Someone spun out.
Might also, once we get to the back of them, we're actually going to harvest the ERS here. Go balance on the fuel, harvest DRS. Well, we're not actually there yet. We need a little bit more. There we go. Now we can harvest DRS, get it to maximum. Then we will make our way through here, unless we, you know, do something here under DRS.
Is that a lockup?
Like Vettel got signs at least, so interesting. We have ERS is fully charged now.
Copy.
And with that, we're gonna go push on the fuel and see if we can get back up to first and second, basically, yeah. And we got signs. We have had multiple cars crashed. No safety car though.
There's been contact. We can take a look now. Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
The Haas bumps the Mercedes out. Great for the Mercs, honestly. Magnus with a penalty. And I assume this is Hamilton here with a potentially damaged rear wing, which will hurt him a bit.
Aston Martin with a great
Ooh,
play
Alonso
there.
has
He
done
moved
some
up a
shenanigans. He ran wide. Not much we can do about that. We're going to slow down the front here, though. It's Vettel. Remember, and conserve. Because we do want Alonso to catch up. He's the one that we are gambling on finishing first, I believe. Just double check. Yeah, Alonso first, Vettel second. So that is what we need to have happen here. So Alonso there, throwing a wrench into the plans. But not much we can do about that. He's still going quicker than Paris.
I think we've had a car run
He's
wide.
actually going a lot quicker. So 6/10 quicker while running save your tires and save your fuel. So a bit concerning.
Looks like Aston Martin
Um,
have just gained a race position.
We'll have to see if the Alonso here does make some moves, because if so,
Advance the race position.
this is a bit concerning. We're going to have Alonso here use deploy, both to get away from the Red Bull. That is number one. But also so that we can catch up to Vettel. Then we can go basically
I think
normal
someone's
again,
run wide.
if you will. Magnussen ran wide too.
We are expecting rain pretty soon.
And we are getting towards the
Copy.
wet period here. Again, we have 80% on the forecast, so I would assume it's going to be wet for the most part. And I don't think it's going to be worth going for inters for this part here, especially if it's going to be this bad towards the end. Those 5 laps, I don't think you're going to lose enough time for it to be really worth it, if you will.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
There we are. Both cars have once again gotten together. And rain should be here in, again, 3 laps time. In terms of tyres here, again, these guys could potentially pit before the rain comes in 3 minutes.
Was that a
I really
lockup
hope they
on the
will
track?
not. But if they do, they're going to be in trouble. So, how do we want to do this? It has started raining. But how much is it going to rain? It's going to take a couple laps to build up to wets. But I think even with the build up here, we get Alonso and Vettel in, and we just get him on the wets right away. It should still be alright, I think, because it is increasing fairly fast. It's going to be a double stack, which is going to
Who's
suck,
running wide there?
but we're going to regain the time, I think, here. It's already damp.
There is a small
And
sprinkling of rain.
already, as you can see, these guys have started, they have slowed down a lot. So tires are overheating because we're not running a full wet track yet, but it's already running up here to 3. And as you can see, so far the AI has gone on to intermediates.
Someone's run wide.
But yeah, we are now into the wet period, so they will be pitting again, unfortunately. We'll have to see how long Vettel gets stuck behind Paris. Let's see here now if they stay on the inters or if they pit for wets. Because currently it is going to be, if we trust the forecast, wet until lap 55. Let's have Vettel push fuel and get a bit closer to Alonso, hopefully. Could also run the tires a bit more aggressive now, but it is actually becoming damp again. Could be that we are actually on the wrong strategy here. We'll have to see in terms of lap times.
I think there's been a lockup.
Ricciardo pitted for what exactly? Inters? Norris pitting for Inters too, I guess. And we are running 6/10 slower. So if it does start raining in 2 minutes, we might be in trouble. Yeah, it's going to be Inters now. We just started another lap. Let's be honest, Alonso can pit for Inters, no problem. Vettel, I don't know if we don't gamble. It's 9 laps. It would be 9 minutes if he loses 6/10. He cannot lose more as it goes down, of course. This is 80%. It's just too unpredictable in all honesty. The moderate rain in 2 minutes. Honestly, we're gonna wait for that. And see if it comes, we will be saved. If it does not, we'll be in trouble. It did not show up. Vettel ran wide as well. Yeah, we're gonna have to go for intercept for both our cars. It's gonna have to be how it is. It's just so annoying. It's all. We can run them aggressively towards the end here. And Vettel keeps locking up and causing problems for himself because he's now going to be a pit stop down. It's either this or we try and keep them behind us. Lap times though aren't that horrible. We are 1.5 seconds slower. 1.5 seconds times this would be 15. But it's gonna get worse, that's the thing. Is it worth pitting? Is the question here. We pit him and then we pit onto wets a lap earlier, maybe. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do this. It's just, again, the wet races are just so annoying because they're so unpredictable. We'll probably come out behind Perez, which is problematic. And Alonso just barely comes out behind Sainz. So, and Vettel actually had an extra long stop to 4 seconds, which could compromise him here a bit too. So, yeah, not the greatest ever. Let's go aggressive on tires. Yeah, we can go aggressive. We're not going to stay on these for too long. It's again just very, very annoying that it is so unpredictable. And Vettel here is probably not going to get second due to that, honestly. I should have pitted him earlier.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
Vettel is basically running the exact same time as leader here, so what we're caring about is the interval to his other rival, so to speak. He's getting close to Perez, Russell, and all of them, but Sainz is going to be the big target here. 2 more laps until it supposedly starts raining again. And the gamble is going to get Vettel in early. Going to be the game here, the play. Let's have him run attack. Once this sticks down, we're going to slow him down a bit. Vettel is making moves though, give him that. And we actually missed it. I didn't pay attention to that. We are going to have to get him in on the wets. We're going to have to do the same for Alonso, just get him in the wets. It's going to be... Honestly, if it's the case quick enough there that we get in trouble, I'm going to be pissed, straight up.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Albon and Perez stayed out, Verstappen and Sainz pitted. Just unfortunate for us, honestly. Running aggressive to the end should be doable. Same here with Vettel. We can also deploy ERS here once he's out of pits. Try and catch up to Verstappen and Sainz, of course. Did he have a slow pit stop again?
Sounds like someone's locked up. We've just had a car run wide.
Ran completely out of battery. That's on me.
Copy.
Ten seconds now up to Sainz. I don't think Vettel's going to make that work. Potentially, but still, going to be difficult for him. We do need to harvest a bit too, just so we have ERS to play with here. Let's harvest for a couple of corners. Then we'll go neutral. We're just not gaining enough. It's a shame. Once again, the forecast ruins the race, and as you can see here, it's just absolutely bonkers. If the AI pits for intercept to the end, we could make it work, but we're gonna lose money here basically because the forecast is very imprecise. Go full attacker to the end should also be doable. Magnussen is pitting. Big question is Sainz and Verstappen going to do the same? Not look like it. We just leave Alonso as is. He has almost a pit stop on Sainz. We could get third there potentially with Vettel. Should got blocked there a little bit by Latifi, I think. We actually had a few. Yeah, Vettel might actually run out of fuel. It's a shame. I should have just pitted Vettel earlier, played it safe with him. I took a gamble and it didn't pay off, unfortunately. Just how it is sometimes.
I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I guess Vettel 5th, Alonso 1st is going to be the safest bet for these. Let me know what you think in the comments, because we gambled and we lost on this one, but due to the weather, honestly. Just 5 seconds off though, so once we get a couple of upgrades on Vettel here, and probably make it work a bit more reliably. Driver Championship here, we have Verstappen moving up, past Leclerc. Let's actually go through the results first. Sainz 2nd, Leclerc's all the way down into 11th, Verstappen 3rd, Perez 6th for Red Bull, AlphaTauri 5th with Albon, Russell 7th, Hamilton 9th for Mercedes, and Alfa Romeo's finish out the points. Drivers, as said, Verstappen moves up, and the constructors, we have no changes. We are losing money here though, because I was expecting a 1-2 here. Fortunately, I messed it up due to the rain. So this is kind of a double-edged sword, really. I think we're going to just have to say Vettel 5th. So we're going for 2nd here. I was a bit over enthusiastic. But I think we're just going to have to say Vettel 5th and Alonso 1st. The base for now, until we get some better parts. Wind tunnel upgrade has been completed. Underfloor research has been completed. Line suspension has been completed. But with that, we're gonna end it here. We are at the halfway point of the season. Next time we'll be continuing with, of course, the emails and everything. But thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to play the game so far. I'm kind of happy that I found that thing with finances. It's giving me a lot more to play for. The races are a bit longer though, because of the effort we have to put in to try and make our way up. Vettel is kind of not agreeing with my strategies, but it's just how things are. We'll also see next season if we can get a female second driver. We might try and get someone else here for Vettel potentially, but as it's going, it looks like Alonso will in 23 here be world champion. That is looking good. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you like what you've seen, please do like and subscribe. Helps me out a ton. And thank you to everyone who's already done so. Also, a big thanks to my viewers and subs. Big thanks to the members on my channel, and of course also members, my supporters, and also of course a big member to my so far single Patreon. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time.